Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Tabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And I always see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, this is going to be a very interesting show because it seems like Ja Morant is making some headlines today. Now, where did all of this start? Right? Where did all of this start? This morning, I was doing some research and I came across an article from fadeawayworld.net. And this article had the headline saying Memphis Grizzlies coach and players upset with ESPN for controversial Ja Morant report. The moment after reading that, I started going through the article a little bit and I was reading comments or quotes rather from the coach and the players. And then I said to myself, I said, okay, first of all, what report are they talking about? Right? Because I didn't know what they were talking about. I needed some context. So I did some research and I actually came across the article that was published on ESPN. It was just published just yesterday. And it actually had the headline saying, or it said, then the alligators got him. Inside Ja Morant's 18-month downfall. And when I read that, I said, okay, this could be what they're alluding to. Now, quick update before we even get into this. As you guys know, Ja Morant is going to be serving a 25-game suspension for the former incident that he had, the one that just absolutely floored all of us. Since then, Ja Morant has not made any news. He has not said anything. He's not done anything, at least to our knowledge, right? Or at least to my knowledge. I haven't heard anything out of his camp. So to his credit, that is a good thing. I think out of sight, out of mind is a fantastic way to go right now when you have all of these things bubbling in the surface and people ready to pounce on you whenever you do something. So I actually want to get into this article and read a little bit of it. It's quite long, so I'm not going to read all of it, but I want to read some of it to give you guys some context, and then we'll continue on with the show. But before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by sponsor Factor Meals. If you're like me or anybody that works at Dreamerspro, chances are you're a very, very busy person, especially during the lunchtime when you don't have time to go to the grocery store, pick out fresh ingredients, and come back home and cook healthy, delicious meals. Sometimes we're so busy that you just end up finding yourself making a ham sandwich or something like that, which isn't really ideal. And this is the reason why we are excited to be partnering with Factor Meals. Factor Meals is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. You can choose from up to 35 gourmet meals. Every meal is packed with premium ingredients, crafted by Factor Meals' team of culinary experts and designed by dietitians to ensure that every meal is packed with premium science-backed nutritional quality. Your meals are delivered directly to your door, and all you need to do is heat them up in just under 2 minutes. Then they are ready for you to eat and enjoy. So for example, this week, I think I'm gonna go with the Italian herb chicken. What I love is that under every single meal, you can see if it's a calorie conscious option. For example, this meal I just chose is the dietitian approved calorie smart meal, which is around 550 calories or less per serving, and also a protein plus meal with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. So if you want to give it a try, click the link in the description below or head over to factormeals.com/dreamers50 and use code dreamers50 to get 50% off. And remember, when you try Factor Meals by using the link in the description below, remember that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me get into what the article had to say here. So the article then continues on. It says, on February 18, 2022, Memphis Grizzlies superstar Ja Morant was on a private jet en route to Cleveland for the All-Star game. Surrounded by friends and family, the occasion was momentous, and he decided to chronicle it. Before taking his seat, he began streaming on Instagram Live. He settled in, stretched his legs, and inquired about a deck of cards. He bantered with his grandmother. Then Morant grabbed a bottle of tequila, one of the most expensive tequila brands in the world, with 10,500 people watching. He propped up his phone near a window, held the oversized white bottle at the side, and with both hands and aimed it at the phone, cocking the bottle back and forth like a machine gun. He then did the same with a bottle of another tequila. Choose your poison, he said. Soon after, Morant panned the camera towards Kevin Helms, the Grizzlies' head of team security, who is often by Morant's side. Kev, say what up, Kev, Morant said. Helms, sitting in a different row, flashed a peace sign. Y'all see my dog rocking that MBO, Morant said of Helms, referencing the logo of his hooded sweatshirt. Those letters are tattooed on Morant's stomach and stand for my brothers, no others. A moniker for those in his inner circle and a clothing brand led by his childhood friend Devontae Pack, who sat nearby. The live stream continued as tequila was passed around the plane. Y'all babysitting that bottle, Morant asked the group behind him. Morant then asked viewers to come up to the NBPO pop-up in Cleveland, which the Grizzlies' verified Instagram account commented on with 4 flame emojis. Bottles continue to be shared. I'm trying to get the bottles, Morant said. They're babysitting the bottle. He's handed one, and he takes a long pull. Oh, man, we was lit, Morant later said on the flight. It was that weekend. Multiple sources in and around the Grizzlies organization said that some early warning signs became habitual. When concerns around the team and league deepened, and it is when sources said Morant misconduct accelerated, becoming more frequent in public. In the 18 months since, more serious allegations have surfaced, lawsuits and subpoenas have been filed and remain open. It is a period in which a 22-year-old rising superstar struggled with the excess of fame and has become a 24-year-old man whose actions are jeopardizing his career. He went to the first All-Star game, one team source said, and then the alligators got him. The Ja Morant, now mentioned in court documents and police reports and subject to multiple NBA suspensions, is not, according to Grizzlies insiders, scouts, and Memphis business owners who interacted with him frequently. The Ja Morant who entered the league just 4 years ago, before being drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies with the number 2 overall pick in 2019, scouting reports on the high-flying point guard out of mid-major Murray State revealed little in the way of red flags. Zero, said one veteran NBA scout who scouted Morant for a lottery team in position to draft him. He was the consummate coachable teammate, a choir boy, under-recruited, didn't have many scholarship offers, played with a chip on his shoulder, glowing stuff, nothing. There was absolutely nothing. Said a second veteran NBA scout, I studied him inside and out. There was not one person who had a bad thing to say about him. Very much a late bloomer. Good family, hard working ethic, humble. He checked every single box. In their Morant scouting reports, which were reviewed by ESPN, his coaches in high school at Murray State offered glowing remarks on the court and notably away from it. His high school coach, Dwayne Edwards, a Crestwood High School in Summit, South Carolina, said that Morant had no off-the-court issues. An AAU coach of Ja Morant said Morant's father didn't interfere and would always support his son. A Murray State assistant coach, James Kane, and said Morant didn't drink, didn't smoke, and created no issues. Then the article then continues on. During the first season in Memphis, there were positive returns. The Grizzlies staff passing along intel to scouts that the eventual Rookie of the Year was always asking questions and great to work with. Morant established himself in just his third NBA game, scoring 17 of his 30 points in the comeback fourth quarter, blocking a potential winning shot from Kyrie Irving and tallying the winning assist on a buzzer-beating winning assist on a buzzer-beating overtime winner over the Brooklyn Nets. And then the article then continues on to basically chronicle each individual thing that put Ja Morant in the place that we know him to be right now. So that's what the ESPN report said. Now I want to read what the Fadeaway World article said. I want to go directly to the part. It says, Ja Morant is falling from heights of NBA superstardom very quickly. ESPN released an expansive article earlier today that explained how Morant went from a good-natured and humble rookie to the problem child he is today. Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins and other players have blasted the article that came out today. It says, I read the article and I'm not going to comment on anonymous sources, Jenkins said. I'm not really going to comment on the past. I'm really focused on the present and the strides he is making, positive strides and the strides that the team is making. And then it continues on. It's really on the annoying side. Everybody knows about the situation. We're all working to get past it. The fact that we are bringing it up and nothing else is going on, it's kind of like, what are we doing? And then Desmond Bain said, people are bringing up anything they can just to have something to read. Bain said, we ain't worried about that. We are with 12. We're keeping everything in-house. We're holding everything together. We will have his back through it all. So that's what his teammates had to say. That article, the ESPN article, I suggest you guys go and read it. It's a very long article, but it gives a lot of information that I'm sure some of you guys who are interested in this story would like to know. Here are my thoughts on this, and I'm going to be quick with my thoughts. First of all, I don't think ESPN did anything wrong, and I'll tell you why. Number one, ESPN did not put Ja Morant in a situation where he's being discussed like this, talked about this way. It was Ja Morant, it was his camp, and it was the Memphis Grizzlies for hiding things and kind of encouraging this behavior by not correcting it. So that's the first part. All ESPN is doing is reporting on it. Now I can understand you're saying, well, let it go, but they got to do their job, right? They didn't commit any crime. They're just reporting on a story and giving some background information. Now, from the standpoint of the Grizzlies and the Grizzlies players, I can understand the coach saying, can we just get past this? Can we move on? Well, I got some bad news for you, because when the season starts, this is something that's going to be discussed, especially as the games begin to count down for when he's going to be returning to the team. You better believe it. People are going to discuss it. Whether you like it or not is the way the world is going to work. They're going to discuss it with 5 games to go, 3 games to go, 2 games to go the day he plays. And they're going to be talking about it all the way to the end of the season to monitor whether or not Ja Morant made the appropriate changes or the necessary changes that he himself said he said he was going to make. So to me, I don't think that there's anything wrong with this. To be honest with you, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I think the Grizzlies, in my personal view, could have just ignored the article. They could have. They brought it up to them. I have no comment on that, right? But by talking about it, it shows that there's still this level of frustration and all of that. Now, Desmond Bane said the right thing. We're going to support our teammate. We're going to have his back. And I think that's what you're supposed to say, right? If I'm in the position of Ja Morant, I would want to hear my teammates say something like that. So to me, that is totally understandable. But at the end of the day, how is all of this going to go away? The only way this goes away is if Ja Morant comes back, plays his tail off, reminds everybody who the hell he is as a basketball player, and stays out of trouble and stays drama and sucker free. It is literally that simple. Come back, play your tail off, put up great numbers, and stay sucker free. And 6, 7 months, 8 months from that point forward, people will forget about it. Will they be talking about it here and there? Will be murmurs about it? Yeah, but if people are seeing you're doing your thing and the Grizzlies make the playoffs and you guys do well, people are going to forgive and forget. That's just the way that it's going to be. So to me, I think this situation is solely in Ja's hand. Ja can't control what people say about him. He can't control what people write about him. What he can control is how he plays and how he behaves on and off the court. And if he does the appropriate things, there won't be anything to discuss. Yesterday, I was listening to an episode from The Odd Couple, and it was Chris Broussard and Rob Parker responding to Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, the defensive player for the Dallas Cowboys, and he was complaining, why are people always critical about it, blah, 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 blah. And Rob Parker and these guys are like, you're the Dallas freaking Cowboys. What the hell do you expect is going to happen? People are going to talk about you. When you do good, people are going to talk about it. When you do bad, people are going to talk about it. Why? Because you're the Dallas Cowboys. And they were like, instead of worrying about if they're talking about the Dolphins or they're talking about this team as much as the Cowboys, he's like, why don't you just go play and play your butt off and win games and leave it at that, instead of complaining about what people are saying about you when you win or you lose. Same thing with Ja. People are going to talk. We're going to talk. Everybody's going to talk. What matters is what you do. And to me, I have a feeling, and this is just my feeling, I could be wrong. I think Ja is going to figure it out, and I think he's going to come back with a different disposition, and I think he's going to have a great year when he comes back. I personally believe that. Now, I could be wrong. Some people are saying you could be naive. I think he's going to figure it out. I think he's going to have a good season. I think the Memphis Grizzlies are going to be good because they were always good with or without him. But, I mean, in terms of, like, they're a good basketball team. Obviously, he makes them better, but you understand what I mean. But I think he's going to figure it out, and I don't think there's going to be any drama. If there's any drama that occurs this season, I'm going to be gobsmacked. if that happens, and I don't foresee something like that happening. So these are my thoughts. So what I want to know from the audience is simply this. Number one, do you think it's inbounds for ESPN to put out that report? Number one. Number two, what do you think about what Taylor Jenkins and Desmond Bain had to say in support of Ja Morant in that article of ESPN? And number three, how do you think Ja Morant ultimately ends up returning this season? Do you think he returns drama free, or do you think there's going to be a road bump somewhere along the way? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.